Hey, it's Brian with the Daily News Autos, and this is the 2017 Ford Fusion Sport. Now, Ford's updated the Fusion for 2017. They've given it a couple of styling tweaks, some smarter packaging, things like that, but they've also added this Sport model, which is a bit of an exciting proposition for enthusiasts like myself, and I'll get into that in a bit. But I want to see if this Fusion Sport really lives up to the Sport name itself, or if it's just all for show. Now, the Fusion gets a mid-cycle refresh for 2017, but let's make no mistake, Ford really didn't have to mess with the styling very much at all to keep this thing good looking. It's still angular, it's got great curves to it, and with a couple tweaks to the front and rear end, the Fusion looks more cohesive than ever. I still think it's one of the best looking sedans out there. Now, the Fusion Sport has a couple visual differences to set it apart from the rest of the Fusion lineup. There's this black mesh grille out front, these awesome looking 19-inch gray aluminum wheels, and a spoiler out back, as well as quad exhaust tips to really signal this car's athletic intentions. Inside, you get one choice of interior appointment. No black or white or even brown to be found here, but you get these awesome looking gray leather and fake suede seats. These thrones are super supportive, really plush, and just a nice place to sit for pretty much any length of time, whether you're in the front seat or the rear. There's a new Sync 3 infotainment system, which replaces the old My Ford Touch unit, and it is vastly improved over the outgoing system, but there's still a lot of quibbles when using it. A lot of the functions are still controlled through the touchscreen, so switching between navigation, Bluetooth, and audio isn't necessarily as easy as just pressing a button like you would do on other midsize sedans. If I've got some quibbles with the interior, it has to do with the fit and finish. A lot of these trim pieces feel like old Ford, and when other American automakers are stepping things up like GM, it's starting to feel really low rent. There's also the issue that bugs me every single time I look at the crack between the door and the dashboard. Overall though, this is still a Fusion on the inside, which still makes it a comfortable, sensible mid-size sedan. Of course, until you learn what's actually under the hood of this thing. Now, knowing Ford, they wouldn't call this the Fusion Sport if they didn't actually have the guts to back it up. And thankfully, they do, because the new engine under the hood of this thing is a 2.7 liter twin turbocharged V6, and it makes 325 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. That is insane for a midsize sedan. No other midsize sedan even crests the 280 mark, but this Fusion has a serious claim to being the most fun midsize sedan you can buy. The power comes on without fail every single time. It is absolutely raucous to drive. The 6-speed automatic is a little on the sluggish side. It's a little bit hesitant to get into certain gears, but it's perfectly smooth when you're driving along, and it manages the torque of this engine really well. Handling is pretty solid as well. Thanks to the all-wheel drive system, this thing has tons of grip, so you can really throw it into a corner and hold on and know that it's going to do its best to get you through, and it will. The Fusion Sport is truly a delight to drive, especially in the midsize segment. It's incredibly fun to throw around corners. When you put your foot down, it's truly exhilarating. And honestly, I don't think there's a more fun midsize sedan out there. So I'd say the Fusion Sport definitely lives up to its name. It's incredibly fun to drive. It looks great. And aside from a few quibbles with the technology and some of the trim pieces, I think overall, this sedan offers something that no other midsize sedan has done to this point. And that makes it a pretty darn good deal. Well, that's all for now. I'm Brian with the Daily News Autos, and we'll see you next time.